There we go. So each of our brides are going to be describing themselves, and we will start with our lovely first player in the bottom left hand corner of my screen. Would you like to introduce yourself and who you're playing and what your bride looks like?
Sure. My name is Whitney, she, her, and I am portraying uh, the vampire bride known as Selene, also she, her. Selene is a young woman. I want to say she's probably 21, maybe 22 years old. She is medium height and medium weight too. I would say not she's not fat, she's not thin. She's got curves. You can see it is womanly curves. But still healthy for the time period. Her skin is pale, as probably all the vampire brides are, but there's still a little hint of some form of pink to a little bit in the undertones of her pale skin. She is the youngest bride. She was just changed 3 years ago. So she is very young. So she still has some vestiges of possible humanity. Hair is long, wavy black hair. She usually wears it loose, but she'll also wear it back in a loose knot in the back of, right, in a psyche knot. She has deep green eyes. Um, her clothing style is simple but elegant. She prefers to be comfortable, but she recognizes the need to still wear fine fabrics and also hand embroidered.
Hello, name is Durmidge. First name Shane. That's just the handle. He, him. You can find me on Blue Sky. Thing of the same. The links will be up. And I am playing Carmilla. She, her. Uh, the second oldest and shortest of the brides. Uh, she is very voluptuous, sort of on the paler side. Long black hair as well, sort of in the region. Uh, she is she's been turned early, but she is feeling and potentially looking a little old. She has been at this for a couple centuries, and the weights of being in this game of gaining the favor of the worst men imaginable is tiring and has started to take a toll emotionally. But she is here, and she is trying to do her best for herself and her sisters.
Hi, I'm Nova. I go by they and she. I am portraying Isabella. Isabella is a tall, uh, broad, imposing woman, but her face and the around her ribs is relatively gaunt. She is wearing still the remnants, the just like bared, tattered, centuries old at this point remnants of uh, an already ill-fitting wedding dress. It looks like it may not have actually been made for her own form. Uh, she has kind of dirty blonde hair, and it's back, but it's not held back. It's not tied back generally. It's streaked with just blood and gunk as she has scraped it out of her face as she went. And each time that she's seen, even though vampires heal the way that they do, she has fresh wounds um, across her face, and frequently does not clean the blood from herself after she eats. So is constantly kind of grungy and bloody in that way. And you can find me on Blue Sky at Dits Akimbo, and I'm sure the links will be posted.
I guess we're gonna do it this way. Hi, I'm Starshard.Stories. I am your storyteller. I am playing the grossest man alive, and I feel gross about it. Um, feel very icky about it. You can find me on various social media platforms, especially here on the Starfield, where this show is hosted. I own it. Hello. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. But we hold various shows. Most of the things that we specify in mostly is horror themed gaming. Um, though we do have superheroes, and then we're gonna have some wild apocalyptic themes coming up soon. It's gonna be a time. But thank you for tuning in and watching this lovely yet dark show that we are presenting for you all. And welcome back to the Brides of Dracula. Our brides witnessed the murder of one of the favored brides of Dracula several nights prior. Isabella got Mally, had a bit of a physical altercation with Dracula. Carmilla, using her guiles to seduce Dracula later that night. In Selene, memories had been coming and going, and feeling very sorry for the little hint of mischief that she did at the event. They all met up in Helga's room a few days later, and they learned quite a few things. One, there being a nobles meeting in about 6 months, and they're looking into the very first bride of Dracula, Griselda. However, they are deciding to go to the local village, which is the largest settlement in Dracula's domain, which is also the area where most of the prey and the brides come from. Which is a possibility that all of you are possibly related in some form. Probably distant, very distant cousins or aunts, or none of you are close in age, so none of you could be siblings. But
No. Wouldn't it be strange if I was a descendant of one of you?
it wouldn't be strange at all. But this is also an area which all of you know there is a secret society that lives in this village that hunt creatures of the night. Isabella would know this secret society as the Messengers of Light. These men are trained with the sole purpose of murdering Dracula and his progeny. The village is quite quiet tonight. It's a new moon, no light in the night sky, just the stars, and a little bit of clouds going over to make it more of a dreary feeling. The church is to your left, and you see the small church braziers are lit, and the procession of white-robed men and women are heading towards the church, as this is a normal routine. You see the tavern. It's crowded. There's people drinking and being merry and rowdy and loud. And you see the burrowmaster's daughter heading towards the church and things. The villagers are watching you warily. Some people are slowly closing their windows. There is an air of anxiety, fear, and untrust towards you all. It's very light. It's not super heavy. But you all need to eat. The tavern is probably your best bet to go to get a quick meal.
I think the way that Isabella normally feeds here is coming into the town as quietly as possible and finding someone who hasn't made it indoors.
Okay.
But it is there's a rare opportunity here, especially with Carmilla with us, that we might be able to actually approach the villagers without them freaking out. Uh, um,
Yeah.
so
'cause-
as we
Should I give us a little bit of cover?
well, I think there's two ways to go about this.
Hmm.
Either we sneak in, we do things my way, and just take someone. Or just gonna look over to Camilla, ease tension some, start with a conversation. There's an interesting group in this village. It's hard to tell who is a part of it and who's not, but they're dangerous to us and to
Oh,
Dracula, and they might know things that we don't. Ways to counter his influence.
that could be very effective. But I would prefer not to feed on. I would prefer to feed on someone that could be easily. That won't be missed.
I normally the type of man who's alone and thinks 30 years is nothing between us.
Mm-hmm.
Practically beg to be eaten.
You definitely find a man that's practically begging to be eaten. It's not that hard. There's like an older gentleman in his 60s, which is very old for this time.
Mm.
He is sitting on a chair, carving something on a piece of wood. It's definitely a protection kind of relic. He's just sitting there carving, and he looks up at Carmilla, who is probably approaching because, oh, look, easy snack. His eyes are kind of milky white due to cataracts starting to form. His hands are arthritic, wrinkles. Easy. Do you eat him?
Yeah, I think it doesn't take much. So he's like outside of his house.
He is.
I think I just because I know my hunger's about to be sated. No problem using the power. I think I just sort of hypnotize him into thinking that I really, really like his carvings and it seems so good with his hands. Will he show me more of them? And then
So
just
he
sort of
gets up and takes you into his house. He lives alone.
okay. I make sure the door is left open behind me for my sisters.
You are at 3 hunger, right?
If I'm hypnotizing him,
Yes.
that will put me to 2.
2. All right, so you sink your teeth into him. I need you to roll 2 die and let me know if any result is a 1.
That's a 3 and a 6.
You're fine. You do not get any corruption. You mark your hunger out and you are no longer hungry.
Is there enough to share?
No. You drink You drink. It's addictive. It's tasty. It's wonderful. It's euphoric. You feel his heartbeat slow and then stop as you feed off of him, and then you just unceremoniously drop his corpse to the ground.
All right. I find some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So, I think I like. He's probably pretty frail, but I'm not the strongest, so I think I'll get Isabella to help me, and I'm just gonna put him in bed. Try and make it look a little peaceful.
You put this dead
If it
man.
wasn't for the puncture mark.
You put this dead man into his bed. Pretty sure you closed the eyeballs to make it look like he was sleeping.
Yeah, there's massive puncture marks. No one's gonna.
Yeah, no one's gonna notice. Absolutely not.
So we can't lick them away, huh?
No.
Damn it. Oh, no such thing as a.
No. Masquerade doesn't exist here.
I'm going to find some lonely stop in an alleyway.
There is a young man, about early 20s, ale sloshing out of his cup, sitting on the ground, just hammered. Drunk, doesn't realize where he is, looks over, and he just has this stupid little grin of like, oh, he found a catch tonight.
So I'm going to, while I do not have the guile that Carmilla has, I'm a pretty attractive specimen. So I will just sort of straddle his lap, and I'm gonna do that.
Right
and,
to it.
And I'm gonna feed.
All right, so you are at 2 hunger, correct?
Yes.
Roll 2 dice and let me know if you get a 1.
Double sixes.
You're fine. You feed so easily. You actually taste the alcohol in his blood. Something you have not tasted on your tongue in a very, very long time. And you get a bit of a buzzy feeling, little heady, giggly-esque, as you continue drinking. And then he just goes limp. He's dead.
Yeah.
And the alcohol spilled on the ground.
Too much in his cups, I say to myself, and I will I will wipe my lips, savor the yeasty burn of ale, and I will close his eyes, and I'm actually going to put 2 silver.
So 2 silver coins for the ferryman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you put the 2 silver coins on the eyes. I will note that for later.
And leave him be.
Finally, the most feral of the group.
Isabella has a very different plan.
What is Isabella doing?
I think quick as she is, she's going to sort of flit through town looking for anybody who hasn't made it indoors yet. She's looking for maybe a young couple who's out, maybe a parent and child, at least 2 people, and preferably somebody who will be missed.
So you see a young couple in an alleyway. I'm not going full description what they're doing in this alleyway. They're having a grand old time. And it's obviously they're a young married couple, like freshly married.
Oh.
They didn't make it home.
I see. So yeah, she's going to use her transformation power, and Not going for anything in particular, but elongate claws, extend fangs out so they're obvious, make herself like obviously undead, corpse-like. Whereas normally they don't look like people exactly, but they aren't.
You hear doors slamming nearby, windows shutting, hushed whispers of fear.
Um, and she's going to use this effect and hopefully like startle these two and
Mm.
chase them toward the woods to feed, not into the woods
Yes.
necessarily, but in that direction.
You hear this couple scream. Selene and Carmilla, you hear screaming and people running towards the woods. And then there's this big monster chasing after them. Y'all recognize hints of Isabella, and you see the villagers are quickly closing their doors and staring at you. And then you smell roses. And something whizzes right by one of your ears.
We're going. I grab Carmilla's hand.
So out here at the edge of the town, I've marked an extra hunger here for using the transformation power.
Yes.
I definitely want to feed on both of them.
Okay.
Is any roll necessary in this?
So you are going to need to roll the amount of hunger that you have.
Right. Yes.
And then you're going to have to roll again for the amount of harm that you have in order to heal. Because if I'm assuming you're feeding off both of them, one to heal and one to feed.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So I essentially have to roll. I have to do the feeding roll twice.
Kind of. But roll your feeding, how hungry you are first.
Okay.
So I think you have 2 or 3 die that you have to roll.
I should be at 3 now. Yeah.
Yeah. Are any of them a 1?
No, I have a 3, a 4, and a 5.
You are fine. And then next up, roll the amount of damage that you're healing. So 2.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, should I have
That's
done
a
that
6
too?
and a 5.
Mm-hmm. 6 and a 5. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, should I have done that too? I took 1 dot of harm.
If you want to, you're going to have to kill another person.
Nah, I'm good. I'll be fine.
So you gorge on these 2 people, and the bruising and the cuts and stuff that are mostly still there, and maybe a couple of like misplaced ribs are healing easily, quickly. You kind of get that flush back. Like you don't look so sickly or monstrous as you feed off of this married couple. And you watch as the white that the bride is wearing is staining to a sickly pink color due to the blood soaking into the fabric. And you just drop them on the ground. I mean, you got your dinner. It's delicious. You fed. And before you, you see the forest, and a howl can be heard in the distance as you stand to the entryway of the ash forest. Its name comes from the grayish coloration of the vegetation that make up for it. The elders say one should never venture among its twisted plants when the moon is full in the sky. You're lucky tonight. It's a new moon. There's no moon in the sky. Which means it's less likely you'll get mauled by the wolves that are within. But y'all can see on one tree massive claw marks that are old, that the tree has grown around. As you know, when trees are harmed and things, they heal around it, but the scarring still remains. You are in the territory of Dwarzak, the father of werewolves. the maker of werewolves, Dracula's #1 enemy. But you have to go through the Ashen Forest to get to the Gloom Manor, Griselda's manor. It's not a full moon, which means no one gets infected tonight to become a new werewolf.
A stroll.
A stroll. Feeling
Uh,
better now.
Clarifying question: did we get shot at by a crossbow?
You did
bolt?
get shot at by a crossbow. It missed.
Okay. I think I'm going to feign panic at seeing this monster and try and sort of act like a scared villager. Because I assume that they didn't shoot at us, shot at Isabella.
You
So I'm
act
going
like
to
a
panic
scared villager and run towards the forest, I guess.
and run towards the forest, just trying to
We're
establish some
Cthulhu
plausible
running.
deniability. Yeah.
We're doing.
Do y'all step into the
Yeah.
woods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You step in, and it's quiet. No birds are singing, no sounds of creatures around. You keep going, and then eventually you see a grotto within the forest. Beautiful. There is a guru just sitting there, touching various items in his hands. The stench of blood and rotting flesh can be smelled. But he is cradling something in his hands as he sits there, wild, mad, and alone. He turns his head and sees you all. Rage in his gaze is haunting. This man is no longer completely sane. It's more feral than anything. However, since it is a new moon, you don't get to see the true nature of this beast tonight. He gets up and slowly approaches the brides, stalking, preparing to maybe get a hit at Dracula by taking one of his brides.
Does one of the more social characters want to take the lead here, or I'll jump in.
Gets that? So what am I seeing? Are we actually seeing
You see the
a
werewolf.
werewolf?
You
He is
see
a
the
werewolf.
werewolf. Yes.
Can I see what he actually was holding?
He was holding a set of rings that are hanging from a chain.
Oh.
What size? Are they wedding bands per chance?
Wedding bands.
Isabella's going to look at this this creature absent of all of his humanity, though he is in a relatively humanoid form at the moment.
Relatively.
I think I'm going to make a decision right now about how old Isabella is. The answer is rather. Sort of stare at him, lock eyes, and speak not to him but to her sisters. This pitiful creature. Not a vampire. Not like us, but more like us than perhaps either of you understand. You see, we all end up like this if we live long enough. Either our prince tires of us, or we slip every feeding, every urge indulged, until we end up like him. Nothing left but hunger and rage. It doesn't happen often. Usually he tires before then. But it's worse, I think. It should get this kind of almost like not fugue necessarily, but like definitely as she does this little monologue here, just sort of like dissociating into this fucking monster's gaze.
The monster
I
leans in as you are talking during your disassociation, and the snout is right there. And he takes a deep breath, as if inhaling your scent. The rings drop from his hand, and his claws slowly go up, as if going to strike. Do the other two brides do anything?
am reaching I'm reaching for Isabella's hand, or reaching up for her shoulder, getting ready to stand with her or grab her out of the way if needed. I'm like, and I'm not letting my eyes drop from this individual in front of us.
Carmilla?
I get the sense that there's enough of a mind in this thing that I could use
Use what?
my telepathy power to try and gain his.
Cool, gain a hunger.
Yeah, we're back up. Gonna have to
Snap
grab
against him.
another one for the road. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm trying to read actual intent. I guess just everything I can get.
There's confusion.
Because I want to know. Fusion?
Confusion. Like, this werewolf knows Isabella, but doesn't at the exact same time. It's not murderous intent.
Okay.
Curiosity. Even as a monster, you still have some form of curiosity at times, because sometimes you just gotta mess with things in order to see how they work, in order to survive. But
Uh,
he doesn't like you two. He doesn't like Selene. He doesn't like Carmilla.
Okay.
Yes, Isabella.
as the rings drop to the ground, um, her eyes aren't gonna break the gaze here, but her head will tilt a little bit at the noise, um, and she'll just sort of like distantly ask, "Who were you, old man?"
Memories flash briefly as you watch the rings fall. It's your wedding day. You're a little different than you are now. And yet, you're being dragged away, and the sounds of howling could be heard. It's a full moon. You note the full moon, and something in you said you were supposed to be bitten on this night, but not by this person. Not by Dracula.
Oh,
You're not where you're supposed to be. But
Um,
the rings look like one of them could have fit your hand once upon a time. But not now. You've changed quite a bit since then, constantly changing your form, changing your looks to feel more you. Or you just changed up due to a whimsy that you're feeling that day. But that had to have been yours. He's not attacking you, but he is staring murderous intent at the others. But in a brief moment, as you look right back up, once you register and he registers, he is slowly, you see it slowly, but the other two see it quickly. He is going to grab you by the front of your shirt to pick you up off the ground.
Whoa.
um, I think, like as you said, I see it slowly. Then, definitely going to activate the speed and strength for this. And instead of like batting him away or attacking him or whatever, as he goes to grab, I'm just gonna lock hands with him. Just, just grab. Preventing him from grabbing me, but also, holding his hand there.
I'm backing off and I'm getting ready to um I'm not going to cast it, but I am feeling I'm seeing what other creatures of the night are here.
Nothing. Because
Okay.
this is the apex predator.
So this is the one. Okay. Backing off, and I'm tuning into the weather conditions around me, getting ready to use those if I need to.
Okay. You might be able to drag in a blizzard because it is a cooler night.
What about lightning strike?
You would have to manipulate it quite a little bit in order for lightning to hit.
Fair enough. In my other hand, I'm grasping the silver locket I was given.
Okay.
Because I still got it. But I'm putting something in my chamber just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Muted. How much am I getting through? Like, how long was my telepathic link open? How much do I know
It's
of
still
what these
open.
creatures? Still open? Okay. So I understand that this is not a move. For
Oh no, it's
still
turned
very.
murderous now once he
Oh,
realized.
it has turned murderous. Okay.
Yep.
In the same use of telepathy,
Okay.
can I let Isabel know what intent is, or is that a new use of?
It's a new use.
It is a new use. Okay. Well, knowing the past, I think I'm going to warn. Just going to tell Isabella whatever they were, they want you dead now. And I think I'm going to try to hypnotize it to either release or fall to the ground and give Isabella whatever.
Please roll.
Oh boy.
So since you're using a dark gift, are any of your traits applicable in this?
Ties. Nobody resists my deceptions. See if I could make it use a pillar. I'm not particularly in a seductive scenario. Nobody resists my deceptions temptations. Uh, I'm going to make it. No, I honestly don't think I can.
Okay. Just add your 2d6 and let me know. If you roll above 4s.
That's 3 total.
Yeah, 3 total.
That's 2 4s.
So you got 2 successes, which is actually really good. However, you watch as the eyes glaze over briefly. However, you feel a tension on the back of your neck from far away.
Shit.
And you hear
Ooh.
a small little chuckle in the back of your head. And you hear, Carmilla. Good job on taming the mutt. Maybe I'll give you a present later if you come home right away. I know where you're going. Though if you want to see her, you won't get a treat. If you come home now, I'll give you something that you've wanted.
That is
Oh.
okay. So he knows we're here.
Of course he did.
Was happy that Amy. I don't. The treat is probably very. So I think what my intent is going to be, once we get out of this scenario, is malicious compliance. I was asked to come back. I didn't need. It wasn't specified that I need to bring my sisters with me. So after I make sure that we've dealt with the werewolf in an appropriate manner, I'm going to excuse myself, say that Master needs me. Swing by the village real quick, grab a bite to eat, and head back to the castle.
Bitch. On point.
Can you please roll for your hunger?
Okay. Or have we resolved the werewolf? I'm not
You
eating yet, am I?
hypnotize this werewolf. He's walked off. He's gone. He's fucked off into the woods.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, we left him. Okay. So, yeah,
I would like to do a thing before he
Fucks off
walks
into the
off,
woods. Okay.
just to lean in and hiss into his ear.
Okay.
Just remember who your real enemy is. Time is coming. That's it.
He just snarls a little bit and goes off into the woods. Now, Carmilla.
Thank God.
all right. So you're not gonna make me work for it, other than I find some old biddy.
You find some old granny this time.
Okay.
She's carrying a basket of bread.
4 and a 3.
You're fine. You don't get any corrupt. You have your dinner and you head straight back to the castle.
Okay. Make sure the bread has been left on like a doorstep for somebody else.
Yeah,
Don't want
so
it
you
to
head
waste.
back to the castle and we'll describe your fun in a little bit.
I look over at Isabella and I say, where did she run off to?
Back home to Master. Are you surprised?
No. Disappointed.
Why would you be surprised? A voice says from behind both of you.
I turn around.
There is a gorgeous woman. Blonde hair, beautiful hazel eyes, in a dress that kind of glitters under the stars. She watches you all, and somehow behind you, the manor's right there. It wasn't there a moment ago.
Got it.
Not
Space is
surpri-
as hinky as time.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, just disappointed.
I mean, it is him.
Are you Griselda?
You can say that. And as you're looking at the manor, you see one whole wing that is completely burned of this place.
Did he do that?
I did.
You?
Enrage, sorrow.
A familiar song?
Very.
You can say that.
May we speak to you for a moment?
Yes, and she'll step onto the property. Emotions for you both to follow her.
I had actually told Isabella as we're walking towards her, I did tell her that the mansion apparently knows if your intentions are not pure or true. I did tell her
Mhm,
that.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah.
So, how are the brides feeling? The two brides.
You first, Isabella.
I would like to
I
know the
think
emotional
that,
states.
yeah, I think, in a rare moment of rage not being the dominant emotion, honestly, I think confusion and sorrow more than anything. She knows that she's walked away from some bit of herself that she lost, and she almost got it back but didn't. It's still just past her reach. So it mostly just this, I guess, confusion and sorrow and want.
As you walk onto the property, white lilies seem to turn and watch. Quote, watch. You walk onto the property. They seem to be reaching towards you as if you're the light, the sunshine that they need. And if you know anything about white lilies are commonly the symbol of rebirth or even grief in some cultures.
Mm-hmm.
It is a common flower for both weddings and funerals. So the lilies reach out, and the path seems to grow smoother for you, as if to not hassle you or make you angry. It's making it something going right for once.
That's amazing.
As for Selene, what is your emotional state?
Definitely a lot of sorrow. Um, Feeling so deeply for everything that's gone on, and of course, a tinge of disappointment, but also hope. I'm feeling some bit of hope because I've been hearing about Griselda, and I maybe she can help us. So there's this feeling of hope, and also maybe, just maybe, I can find out what I've lost as well and how I can use that to help everybody.
So, as you're walking, there is hints of tulips and daffodils.
Ooh.
Daffodils are usually the symbol of hope and new beginnings, as spring is usually right around the corner. And tulips have more than one meaning. Tulips have meaning of hope, but also a lot of people do not know this. Tulips are the original flower of romance. They were the original love confession flower.
Oh, I actually did not know that. That's really cool.
They are a soft pink, which is kind of not a full-blown love confession, but it's kind of like oddly of adoration and things. The tulips are growing out of the ground and the daffodils as you're walking up to the house. The house is reacting to you as you are definitely not posing a threat to this house or to the lady of the manor. And as the lady of the manor is walking, there's a soft breeze that follows her, and the doors just open for her. There's no servants, no nothing. The doors just open for her. And the house looks abandoned and old and cobwebby and everything, but yet there's a still hint of elegance about this place. Like, she is the lady of this manor. And yet, as you walk into the main room, it's not a foyer, it's a greenhouse. There's roses growing of various colors from a deep black, which isn't commonly seen in nature, to a beautiful bright peach or white. The roses don't seem to decay or have any hint of any blight or rotting, because roses are very hard to grow. They're one of the most finicky plants. They're sheer perfection, like frozen in time. And it smells beautiful in here among the cobwebs and the dust. And this is the most colorful yet untouched by time part of this manor. She continues leading you along, and there's a little table with a tea kettle, a small teapot, fine china, some of it chipped, some of it worn, sitting at a table, and there's only 3 seats. It's as if she was expecting the 4th to run off.
Oh.
Oh. Right, your ass. I know that you had said there was a rose smell when the crossbow bolt
Yeah.
was shot earlier. I know
There
there's
was.
roses have a wide range of smells.
It
Is it a similar smell?
does not smell like this one, because the smell, that is the difference between, because there are different things between traditional roses and wild roses. The
Mhm.
smell that was from the crossbow was that of wild roses. These are pure floral rose.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
I think Isabella's just gonna like flop down in just a bump. No
I
thought for manners here.
I'm surprised he let you come out this far.
I I don't think he expected us to get out this far.
Or he did, and he'll take it out on you later. If the other one doesn't keep him too distracted.
Guess we'll find out.
So what brings you to my domain?
You've been mentioned several times by various other individuals.
I'm surprised that I have not been forgotten.
Do you recall von Aschenberg?
I remember when he was a small boy.
Yeah, he's definitely not small anymore.
No, it's a shame what happened to his wife, though.
I'm still a little new to this society. I'm not quite sure what happened.
That is
Happens.
truly fucked up.
Oh, really?
Isabella's gonna. That is truly fucked up. In a moment of, I think probably recognition here.
She is watching Selene as she said that about von Ashberg's wife.
Really? Well, I'm afraid to ask now.
The Ashbergs were a very happy family.
And now they're not.
No.
We also encountered somebody that knew you. I don't know if you remember her fondly or not. Tilly.
That fucking bitch.
She was haunting the favorites' quarters.
Tilly. She was the reason why I'm dead. Not dead, but banished here.
I kind of got that.
Though she got her just desserts after I framed her, so.
Oh.
So it's been this way from the beginning.
Oh, very beginning. I mean, I was the first wife. I should have more favor, but no, Dracula. Pardon my foul language here in a second. Couldn't keep his dick in his pants.
He has a dick?
Yes.
Yes. Though I'm pretty sure he hasn't given a woman a proper orgasm in years, but
Oh, good.
I'm guessing you're here to ask me how to defeat my, spawn.
So it is true.
Yeah, I mean, I am his maker.
And he knows that, and he can't stand a woman above him.
No, of course not. I tried to make us equals. He didn't appreciate it too much, but, you know. Tilly did her thing, I framed Tilly, and then... Oh, what was the bride after that? I don't even remember her name. He's had so many over the years.
He just murdered his favorite right in front of us, of course.
Helga, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite funny that von Ashberg thought Helga was his wife. That was not.
Oh, dear.
Didn't go well.
No. Dracula's a very jealous man. I don't know where that came from, but, you know, once you're changed, you don't remember who you once were. That's just the curse of it all.
So, if you are his maker, how is it that you are banished here to this small place and he is master of the domain?
'Cause I allowed it.
Oh.
He's gotten stronger over the years, yes, but he hasn't been watching me so intently. So he doesn't know what I've been up to.
You spoke of Helga, which means you are keeping abreast of the situation at least.
I have eyes in his palace. Though I'm very upset that you killed Igor. He was such a funny little man.
It was, yeah. It's okay.
I was having a moment.
You have quite a few of those, so I've been told.
It is difficult not to.
I mean, he knows how to pluck the nerves.
I'm curious, as her emotional state is absolutely going to shift away from, as the memories that she was trying to hold on to slip, shift into, thinking of Dracula and thinking of her moments, shift into rage. And I'm curious as to how the house
roses are dying
reacts.
in the greenhouse. The roses are dying, and all you see are thorns. Griselda looks over, just smiles. So, 6 months, you're going to talk to the Von Ashbergs.
That's what it looks like.
And other the noble families. Maybe maybe within the next 6 months, maybe stop by the Covenant of the Sisters of Mercy. And, I mean, you've already met the father werewolves outside.
Yeah.
He was in a good mood today. It's not a full moon.
He seemed to have some familiarity with you, Isabella.
She just smiles
did.
at Isabella for a moment. And she just taps her nose like she knows something.
Can I say that I had picked up the rings
You did.
before we left, since he dropped them on the ground? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because she doesn't actually know what's going on. She'll, had sort of be turning them over in her hands, and just. I wish I knew as much as the broken old wolf.
How many times have you changed your face?
I can barely remember how many years it has been,
You have
much less
changed
how
at
many
least.
thousands of times.
Yeah, you did make a change within the last 30 years. I do know that.
Well, I changed my face earlier tonight. It's
And that
not.
too. I don't count that with hunting. I know you're going to change yourself when you hunt. I mean, an actual change to satisfy you. I did see one within the last 30 years.
Griselda sips her tea once more, and she tilts her head as she lifts her hand, and a big raven lands on her arm. She tilts her head for a moment, nods, and it flies back off. Well, you do need to head back soon. But if you want to deal with him, as the time is coming soon, as I seen it in the stars, you have a lot of work to do within the next few years. Now to Carmilla. You get home. Dracula's waiting for you at the gates.
Oh. Hello, darling.
He reaches up and gently caresses your face. No hint of anger, no nothing. He will grab you by the arm, oddly gentle and sweet, and lead you through the castle to where Helga's old room used to be. As you step in, it's different from how you saw it earlier today. Some of the stuff from your room has been moved into here. New blankets, new perfumes. Certain things that kind of itch at the back of your mind, like you've seen this before. Writing papers, anything that Carmilla enjoys is in this room. It's a nest, but deep down you know it's a cage.
I'm definitely familiar with the relationship between the carrot and the stick, so there's definitely an outward expression of gratitude and whatnot, but there's definitely a fear gripping my not beating heart.
Do you like it?
I love it. You treat me so well.
Mm. So I was thinking about getting a couple portraits commissioned of you so you can have them hanging in the halls.
Do I clock that as a potential threat from
Oh,
the other
it's
bride?
a promise and a threat. As you know, there is a hall of all of Dracula's former wives that you no longer see. And the fact is, he wants to get one commissioned just in case.
I think I'm gonna sort of smile in a way that, like, sort of acquiescing, not outwardly knowing that, like, showing like that. I'm giving too much away, but knowing like there's going to be a recognition of fear and submissiveness, I guess, in it.
And he leans down and he's like, "You've been such a good girl lately." He's gonna close the doors. Back to the other two brides as Carmilla is doing what she does best.
We're gonna be in so much trouble.
Griselda gets up and leads you towards the exit of the manor and opens the door for you all to leave. And yet, the door opens to the outskirts of the forest towards the village.
Oh,
Interesting.
is that something that the manor just does?
I make it do what I want it to do. Also, it cuts down your travel and less likely for him to get mad.
Fair. Thank you.
Though he'll probably forget that you were talking to me tonight.
Mm.
I did want to say that prior to him, I guess, making the first move, my intent was to sort of mitigate his anger by uh, thoroughly distracting and tiring him out. So I'm hoping that I can mission
girl.
accomplished. Okay. Okay.
Go, girl. Thank you.
We support this in this house. Continue.
Bye.
Before we go, I turn to Griselda, and you have called this your domain here.
The house, yes.
Does that mean that his influence does not extend to this place?
His influence does and doesn't.
Do his eyes extend?
No,
Here.
not in my manor. He
But
avoids
outside-
it.
But outside the manor, that's another story.
Yes.
Okay.
Though I do suggest you get back soon. The sun is about to rise before too long.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Yeah. And now we know we have a quiet room.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So as you all rush to the castle, the sun slowly starts to creep up. You will make it before the sun touches your skin. As we all know, once the sun touches the skin of a vampire, that is how they die. Carmilla, you do not see her for the rest of the time, and yet there's an air of peace tonight, like no anger in this house, nothing. Which means he's thoroughly distracted. And you two can plot for however you wish for the rest of the night before the sun takes over the sky. However,
However, what?
Go ahead.
continue.
If he's distracted, I know that he's distracted likely by Carmilla. Does that mean he's not likely to be in his own chambers?
He's not in his chambers tonight.
Ah. Um, do we know generally where his chambers
Yes.
are? Like, is that okay, cool. Um, I am. Yeah, I think Isabella's going to ask Selene for some cover. Uh, my sister,
Mhm.
we know that our master has eyes everywhere, but
Mhm.
also I know that you are good at turning eyes from what is real. Not so much with him, but he is distracted. I would very much like to do some investigation, but it would not be wise, even if he is distracted, to do so with so many eyes upon me. Do you think you could shadow my presence so that I can move unseen?
Can make that happen.
All right.
I want to go looking for his soil. I assume it's in his quarter somewhere.
We'll get to it. So you're going to cast a dark gift.
I'm gonna probably cast a couple. Here we go. So I have so Celine, I think, has been working and honing her craft,
Yes.
honing her magic, keeping a stash of her magic journals, her book of shadows, hidden at
Mm-hmm.
all costs.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull that out. My book of shadows is a leather bound book. It's funny how small it is. It's about the size of the palm of my hand,
Mm-hmm.
but and wrapped in very plain leather. But it is the pages that I open where you see the true beauty of magic. Every page is a different color. One page is red, another page is marble, another page is blue as the, and within it is my handwriting, my words on every single page, any spell that I have ever known, any spell that I think I can remember, I put in here. And including a couple of little totems, tokens of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if I wanted to cast a covering spell, I would actually turn to this pearlescent page, pearlescent like fog, very, very opaque, almost like it's going to be an opaque physical covering, but also an opaque mind covering. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, and within that page, there's a little cloth, a cloth of very dense fabric that is the purest black. And I pick it up, I look over at Isabella, kind of wink at her and say, I've been saving this for a rainy day, as they say. And I pick up the cloth, I lay my hand on the page, and I am going to activate one of my traits.
Okay.
I am going to activate appearance. My body is a sacred vestige. My words a whisper of an ancient world.
Okay.
Can I activate more than one trait at a
Yes, you
time?
can. You can
Then I'm
to
gonna
up your dice pool.
then I'm gonna activate pillar
Okay.
of being the embodiment of secrets of the world, and from them I draw.
Okay.
You don't know what the words are coming out of my whisper breath. All you know is that as I speak them, I seem to be drawing almost like an opaque hover around my body and face, and it's wrapping over yours.
Okay. Which start gift are you activating?
So that's going to be create illusion.
Okay, so just so you know, you are using magic for something that is 4 to your dice pool.
Okay.
However, you
Mhm.
still have 5 to Dracula, if I recall. If not, I think
Would-
you did break.
Would
Broke
this
one.
be acting directly against him to
This is
create the
pretty-
illusion?
Actually,
I'm protecting you. I'm
no.
protecting you.
I will. No, because it's his eyes. He's distracted. You're good. Continue. You have your full dice pool. Continue.
Okay, so I'm also
Taking one for the
protecting-
team.
I'm also protecting you.
Mm-hmm. So if you
Mhm.
get successful, let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're at
I'm
5
rolling-
dice?
How many dice? 5.
5
yeah.
dice.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Ugh. It's a messy, messy, messy dice. Okay, there is a 6. There are 2 2s, and there are 2 1s.
Oh.
So I don't know what that means.
Okay, I have gained. Oh. Okay.
Taking one for the team. Yeah.
I will. Ooh.
Yeah.
How many successes was that? 1?
I guess so. Yeah. 1 6.
But
2 2s.
it
2
doesn't
1s.
work. However, because he is distracted, it's not going to be any consequences at the moment. None.
Alright.
However, you feel the hunger seeping in a little bit.
Mm. I'm still hurt from the other day.
You are.
Yeah.
So you think that they're perfectly covered, but I will mark it as you have broken another chain. So you feel the chain get lighter. You are now down to 4.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay.
Isabella, you know your way to those chambers. You know your way. And you're looking for the dirt. It's not there. But something clicks in the back of your mind as to what you saw in Helga's room. The urn.
It's that simple.
That's where the dirt is. Hidden in plain sight. Where someone would least expect it to be. And yet, as you walk back to go towards Helga, the door is shut. Some noises
'cause-
could be heard from behind the door.
Yeah. I while I am here, I would like to uh uh quick as I can here, just dig for any other useful thing here in his chambers.
You grab
Uh,
some letters
Okay, cool.
that you will look into another time. Because dawn is creeping up. You need to get to your room. As dawn arrives, your bodies die. It is time to rest. Another night. Some more chains were broken. Some of you feel a little bit lighter. It is getting close for you to time to leave, or kill, or subjugate your keeper. And yet, in the back of all your minds is, what does Von Ashburg want? What is this meeting about? What does Griselda mean that time is coming for him? And we'll find that out next time.
Next time.